Well, just like a good red wine, a South African Meerlust, it's been worth waiting for, and eventually we've managed to get hold of none other than our American correspondent, Mr. Greg Watson, at the home of the Indy 500. Welcome to Breeders' Cup Preview, Greg, and as always, thank you very much for your time.
I hope I do anyway. This race revolves around Laurel River. For me, just a quick thought. His last race was about a week before the Pacific Classic. Bob Baffert, rumor is that he was planning, he really wanted to run the course against Flightline in the Pacific Classic. Had a switch of mind at the last second. We went for the Pat O'Brien, which was the sprint distance, and he won it easily. This horse is bred up and down to run all day long, so the added distance and the added turn of 1 mile Keenland will not hurt it one bit. I make this my top bet of the day.
Okay, so just give us some insight, very briefly, into the credentials of his pedigree that affords him the opportunity to get a mile, even though he hasn't been that trip before.
He's been a mile from Del Mar, which actually is a 2-turn mile. He won his first one by 12 lengths, came back and won again by 4.5 lengths, and did those easily. As far as the breeding, in the mischief on the top side, that's our top sire over here in America right now. Out of an Empire Maker mare, that tells me the Empire Maker on the bottom side tells me it'll run all day long.
Yeah, there have been many horses that have run in the Breeders' Cup that have been by Empire Maker, and at the end of the day, I'm just trying to give the South African market some insights into what the trifecta and quartet holds if you decide to banker him. What are the 3 or 4 other horses that are bubbling under?
I'm looking at probably the favorite in Cody's Wish. Bill Mott's bringing this one in. Been working good, has run good. The mile distance is a bit of a test. While he's been a mile, it's been a 1-turn mile. Keenland is a 2-turn mile, so but he's curling on the top side and on the bottom side. I don't think the distance would be a problem for that one. And Cyberknife, obviously coming out of all the major 3-year-old races, also looks tough. I would probably wheel Laurel River over top of those two. Maybe throw Senior Buscador in. Nice.
Okay, the Breeders' Cup Mile on grass. Charlie Appleby, strongly represented. Aidan O'Brien, strongly represented. What about the joker in the pack that hails from the Chad Brown stable that hasn't been on the racetrack for about a year?
Yeah, domestic spending breaking from the 14 post that's a big drawback at Keenland. Being off for 15 months now, but Chad's been interviewed recently. This horse is working like a monster. I think the only thing he was sad about was getting that 14 post. He thinks this one's going to run a big race.
His preferred style of racing, is it from off the pace? Is it from handy? Or do you think that he's got enough gate speed to get cover early on?
He's got a bit of gate speed. It's going to be difficult being off for 15 months, though, to see how much, if he can get speed to get a good position.
I guess we just have to live up to the expectation and the adage that says, quite simply, class is permanent and form is transient. Chad Brown wouldn't be bringing him if he didn't think he was able to deliver his A game.
Exactly.
Okay, the distaff for the girls. We've had a filly run there once upon a time. Her name was Spook Express. She finished a very gallant second to a filly called Banks Hill, who is now the dam of one of
Very
South
good.
Africa's great size, Ideal World. And she was just absolute, Khalid Abdullah's colours, she was just sensational, and I'm sure you remember her well.
Yes, I do. I remember Banksville very well. As far as the distaff, wide open race. Pretty much every horse in here has a chance, save for Wake at Midnight. You got Malathot, former, let's see, won the Kentucky Oaks last year. Todd Pletcher had some problems with her this year. She really wasn't quite running. She was still finishing second, but wasn't running to her usual form. He added blinkers, and there was a big difference. The number 2, Blue Stripe. A lot of people are going to see this as a long shot. Her full sister, which was Blue Prize, won this very race in 2019. Secret Oath, we got the Kentucky Oaks winner. Clarier's got a decent shot. Nest is on fire right now. Big shot there. Search results. Chad Brown's not going to bring it. If she can't run, he wasn't going to bring her. And my top pick of the race, Society, showing 6-1, pure speed. They will not catch her.
Okay, well, I'd hate to know what it's like when you're confident, but that's absolutely wonderful news. I mean, nobody likes anything more than when a guy has done his homework and when he nails his colours to the mast and they come romping home. So, Greg, because
that's always the best feeling.
It is the best medicine. Now, we're under severe pressure from time constraints perspective. Let's go on to what I consider to be the main race of the evening, the Breeders' Cup on grass. And I know that the world does not agree with that. Of course, we are very conservative here in sunny South Africa because most of our racing is done on grass. And as we discussed earlier on when we had a panel discussion about the preparation of the tracks, I couldn't stop lamenting the fact that I'm old-fashioned. But what does the grass race hold for us over 10 furlongs?
It's a competitive race. Obviously, all the Euros coming in. Bill Mott's sending his star filly, Warlike Goddess, purely for the added distance. She could have been in the filly and mare turf. He wants to. She beat Boys last time. I guess he wants to see if she can do it again. She is a tough customer. For me, my money is going on Mason's Pride. His last 3 been over here. Got a short second and then 2 wrongs. I think the race surrounds that one, and Charlie Appleby's going to get it.
Now, because I don't have the final field, I'm not sure whether Christophe Clement sorry. Because I do not have the final field in front of me, I'm not quite sure whether Christophe Clement, who is an outstanding grass trainer in America, has got any representation.
He does not. I don't believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I don't. No, Graham Motion's got one, or he's actually got 2.
I saw Graham Motion win a
Yeah.
race the other day, which was absolutely phenomenal, with Joel Rosario aboard. He had a deep draw to overcome, but he slotted in one off the lead, and that was very, very promising. I'm not sure whether that filly gets a lineup in the distaff.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, well, what I wanted to say to you now is we've got exactly 3 minutes to wrap up the Breeders' Cup, but 2 minutes. I'm going to have to phone you back and get a proper Breeders' Cup preview. Let's take Flightline out of the equation because all the superlatives in the world have been heaped on this horse, deservedly so. I know that your favourite, other than Flightline, of course, is Epicenter, the winner of the Travis. Are you stronger on him? Have you gone lukewarm on him, or is he still in your heart?
No, he's still in my heart. He's looked tremendous training and in the mornings. does everything he's asked. He's so professional. To me, I've actually got a future wager on him to win, so that's my win bet. But I will be doing a heavy exacta box with Flightline, and then a heavy cold exacta with Flightline over Epicenter.
So you are taking a view that the kind of stereotypical type of running style that Life is Good is so famous for can very, very easily be blunted and thwarted by the enormous and boundless talent of a horse called Flightline.
Yeah, I think Life is Good's probably going to go to the lead, as he usually does. Hold on to it for a long time. But Flightline's eventually going to get the better of him, and I think Epicenter is going to swoop past.
Okay, so something's got to give. I mean, you've got these two monsters. Let's be honest. Life is Good went to the Dubai World Cup with such a big reputation. He didn't get the 2,000-meter trip at Maidan. So what is going to be able to pick up the pieces? We know Flightline, we know Life is Good, we know Epicenter. What's the one other horse that's going to make the quartet pay?
I'm looking for Happy Saver, Hot Rod Charlie, or Rich Strike. I think Happy Saver is being overlooked as far as second or third possibility.
But isn't this race just geared to set up for the Rich Strike, for the Derby winner, with the suicidal pace that these two great horses are capable of setting? Isn't it there for him to shoot at?
You would hope so. I just don't think he's in this class.
Greg, we've got part one of the Breeders' Cup Classic in the bag. We thank you very much indeed for your patience and for bearing with us for 4 racing. It's been a great pleasure, and we shall chat to you one day before the Breeders' Cup date that takes place at Keenland.